has got its ups and downs, tears and laughter, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Bonjour and welcome to my YouTube channel. My good name is Jane Wazayuni, and yes, Yeshua is Lord. Walk with me as I share a story on how spiritual my baby's death was. The occurrences, the mysterious occurrences that occurred before and after she was born. Walk with me. Today, I'm going to talk about how spiritual my baby girl died. By now, you all know that I lost my baby girl last year, April 26th. It's not been easy, but yeah, we have to talk about it. So, my baby, when I was pregnant with my child, my firstborn, the pregnancy was a bit tough in the first trimester. But after that, I really had a smooth pregnancy. Like, it was so smooth. Because I remember, I didn't even have like issues with forced labor at the end, the pregnancy. So what happened? I had a dream. Okay? I was almost due. The due date of giving birth was almost near. So I had this dream, and I dreamt that an uncle, a relative, let me just use a relative, but a male relative, that he had thrown a machete on my tummy, like I was the first one to throw a sword, and then he threw a machete on my tummy and cut it open. So I prayed to God that day, and I asked him, if at all he's telling me that I'm going to give birth by CS, I'm okay with it if it's from God. I told him, if it's you that wants me to have CS, give me peace. And I got peace. God gave me peace. So I knew God also has approved that, because I think what was meant for evil, but God assured me that I would have a smooth procedure, and that's how it went. Like, I was so strong. Even giving birth to my child, I would even help other women, in the world. Like, I was okay. You wouldn't even know that I've gotten a child via CS. I never had any complications. Okay, up to there. Now you understand. So that was the first dream. Okay, this time I'm pregnant. That I was pregnant. My cousin, whom we've been brought up together like twins, we are like twins, but she's a bit older than me. But we've been brought up in the same house, bought the same clothes, like we are sisters basically. She was pregnant as well. She had a dream, Now in this dream, the same male relative appeared to her, and the mother to know this relative. And she had given birth to, now this is in the dream, in her dream, right? She had given birth to a very beautiful baby girl. And they were telling her to take her, but now she couldn't. The child was so heavy for her to lift her up, and they were laughing sarcastically, telling her, pick her, you are the mom, pick her up. Okay? The same relatives. Higher. They are the main characters actually in the most of the dreams I'm going to talk about here. Waking up, my sister, so sorry for her, she had a miscarriage after the dream last night. She had a miscarriage, which was not normal. That is not normal. In fact, it's very spiritual. And when she told me, I was so shocked, because now I remembered the dream I had before I went for CS. But for me, I prayed for it. For her, she was not so prayerful then, you know. But it happened, so happened that she miscarried. Okay. So after that, things went on well. We continued to live. But now, to take you back, when I was 6 months pregnant, my husband came and we shifted to a bigger house. Okay. So when we were house hunting, yeah, we called the landlady. She was so nice to us. Oh, she had this sweet mouth. And she welcomed us. She asked, but now the most suspicious question that she asked if we have children. I told her no, innocently. I told her no, but we are expecting one. So she was so happy. Then I didn't know why. So I went into the house. We moved in. Yeah, it was okay until I went now to deliver. I got my child well. On coming back, previously we had been complaining of, like, we used to live in the 4th floor. It was the last floor, okay, in the story house. So it was a story house. So we used to hear birds before then, and there were these small like 2 insects that used to suck blood, you know. But then we wouldn't, like, we thought it was so normal because they said it's because we are on top. We are in the where the roof is, okay. So remember, this house was very affordable. It was a 1 bedroom and it was very affordable. So, but then when I came back from hospital, my neighbor, who happens to be my friend now, and the wife, they told me there are things that are happening there. They started hearing them when I was in the hospital. So for me, I had not experienced whatever they were hearing. So my neighbor told me, Chen, do you know there are strange things happening here? You know? And I was like, what do you mean strange things? He told me, I've been hearing like a woman walking in heels on the top of the roof of the ceiling. So me, I laughed at him. I laughed at them, you know. And he told me, no, you know, you're not believing me. Ask my wife. So I asked the wife. So the wife told me, Jenny, they call me Jenny. I'm scared. Me, I just want to move out of this place. And I laughed at them and I told them, there's nothing like that. Me, I've never had that. I only hear birds, okay? Okay. So, a month went by. When my baby turned 1, now the things were now clear. I would hear footsteps. You know, for me, I never had the hills. I wouldn't lie. But I used to hear footsteps, like a heavy man stepping on the roof. And one day I approached the caretaker and I asked him, are you the one who usually go up on the roof at night? You know, because I wanted some information from him. And he was like, me? How can I do that? Me, I'm never here at night. Then we started realizing there were specific stairs that they used to pour food. Whoever was pouring, we don't know who. Today it's rice and beef, tomorrow it's rice and minji, you know, different kinds of foods at a specific place. Hey, now my friend, this male friend, his name is John. I think he wouldn't mind if I mention his name. He's my good friend. So he asked the landlady, hey, things that are happening here, we are not understanding, not knowing. The landlady knows exactly what goes on there. Because, I mean, she's the owner of the building. Well, she didn't find it strange. She said maybe it's children that are pouring food. It happened now. It was so much. I think it was on the, I don't know which month this was. It was April, I think. Maybe because they were now the genies were very active, like super active than before. I don't know if it's because I gave birth to my child and they wanted my child, because immediately I gave birth to my child, that's when such things started happening. And by that time, John didn't have a baby at that time. Okay. So now it started becoming serious. My baby started crying non-stop. Non-stop. At midnight, I will be woken up, guess by what? By my bed being shaken. Now things were getting so serious now. And I knew now here the only way it's to pray. The only way to get out of this place safe, it's to pray. I told my husband. He couldn't believe. Actually, he used to laugh because he never believed that such things exist. I had an experience when I was a child, but then this time, it was so serious. Now, I felt like I'll lose my mind when John now shifted. Because after he found another house in another place, because he told me, Jane, me, I won't stay here any longer. I cannot because I don't have peace. He used to do writing, so he used to work at night. And he told me the previous night, before the day now he shifted to another place, what installed fear in him, like, really serious. He told me that he had the steps come from the other side of the roof and stopped at where his head was. And now, he couldn't keep calm. He never slept for those days. Now when he left, and now remember my husband is not believing me. Again, he is away. That time he was actually, they were on a mission at a different country. So, I'm alone with my baby, okay? They left. Immediately they left. We were 5 houses on that floor. There were 5 houses on the 4th floor. So everyone else shifted. The people were also experiencing the same, but everyone feared to tell the other. So now John told me, because we were friends, we used to talk a lot, we were friends. So the other ones were just shifting without telling anyone anything, Now when Kina John left, and the other people shifted. Now we were the targets, the only targets by these genies. We didn't know what to do, and we didn't want to talk to the landlady because we knew we didn't want her to know that we were planning to shift, because we don't know if maybe she would have hurried her whatever she wanted to accomplish, So we had to act wise. Now I stayed there for another month. Now my baby turned 2. She always used to cry. Now they were constant. The cries were constant. And she is a baby that is very peaceful. Unless I hold her. At night especially, that's when she used to cry. Unless I put my hand like this on her face, or she feels that I'm there, that's when she's gonna sleep. So one day, it was at midnight. A woman came. I was not in deep sleep. And she choked me. I remember even how she was dressed. It was so funny. She had this trouser suit and braids, long braids. She choked me. And I prayed. This time now, after I had been putting on gospel music, worship throughout. I never watched anything else except from Life is Spiritual by Erica. I also used to listen to pray a lot now, okay? Because I remember even there's a night that I prayed, and I had steps coming at midnight, and I told God, they will not come to my house. So this night I was shocked, okay? And after I condemned, I rebuked the demon, She left. Then I woke up. I went to the toilet. Guess what? On opening the door of the sitting room, I met these huge lizards, these white lizards, I met a very big one. Guess what I did? I was brave enough. I took a shoe, and hit it so hard in the head. it fell, it couldn't run. And imagine when I opened, like it looked like at me like this, like a human being, you know. And I knew this is not a normal lizard, and it's so big, it's not even moving. And I knew probably the prayers had worked. I took some cartons, burned it in the house. I didn't care whether the house is gonna catch fire. And I prayed as I burnt it, you know. It was so dramatic. So the next day, and it was cool. The next day, now I started hearing the steps even during daytime. You know, I'm the only one in the floor. So even if I scream, no one will come to rescue me. And now people by then had started shifting a lot from that apartment. So and the next night, I had my ceiling moved, like crunk, the way you hear like sounds. I knew now I'm not here. I cannot spend another night here. So what I did, I called my husband and he asked, now where are we going to shift to? Because we need to look for a good house that we won't go and find such things again. Like we have to look for a house, not in a hurry, you know. When you rush things, that's how you get yourself into such situations. So, but I know those demons were after my child. My child would look at the wall and not even blink, and then she would, it's like she was seeing things, and also I was seeing shadows at times. You will hear now even when you are sitting on the chair, because now we couldn't sleep in the bedroom, so we shifted to the sitting room, and you will hear the chair literally shake. So now this night when I had the ceiling being moved, and my bed was shaken like vigorously, you know. you people, you know, you think it's stories of Jabba. Hey, it can be that crazy. Some people, they are just like, they are into cultism, you know. These people that you see, they have big buildings. Not everyone has wealth from God, you know. And you have to pray so that you don't find yourself in such traps. Mind you, before we came into that house, I had a dream in the previous house where God reveals things to me in my dreams mostly. So I even told my husband, we are going to find a house and it is going to cost us this much, you know. But I didn't finish the dream that there was a fight and that I escaped. Higher. This time, my mom had a dream that I had an accident with my child and my child was dead. Okay. Msipuuze dreams. Do not. Dreams, you know, even if the Bible says, like, God reveals things to his people during sleep. He opens their ears, you know, and he puts information in them. He reveals things to you so that you can pray about it, okay? Not to scare you. He's a good father. He reveals things so that you can pray about it and stop it, or you will know how to deal with whatever he has given, the information that he has given to you. So this day now, I said, I cannot sleep here. It was daytime. I had just washed my child. I just took a few clothes of her clothes. I didn't even carry mine, and left up to my auntie's place. Now I was to stay there. I stayed for a month until my husband sent someone who would look for a house for us, and we were able to shift. Okay. So the house was being searched when we were already gone. I couldn't stay there because now you have to run, because you don't know the altars raised there, because you cannot find genies in a place that you have gone. It's like going to hell and telling Satan, get out of hell, it's mine, you know. Yeah, so you sometimes you just have to be wise and leave. Okay, do not fight battles that are not yours. So I went to my aunt's. Immediately we reached there, my child started laughing. She was so happy. We lived there happily. It was so peaceful. My auntie is prayerful. Like, it was so peaceful. So we stayed there, and then we came back now. That we came back, like I don't remember the specific day, but then we didn't shift that day. We had to sleep so that my mom, good thing my mom came, so we met in this old house. And by this time we've not told the landlady that we are shifting. No, because we didn't want her to interfere. Hey. So um, my mom came, she was there cleaning the new house, because I had my newborn was now 3 months. um and we shifted to another house. That house was peaceful. That's where now I brought my child up for all those months until she turned 1, you know, until she turned 1. But now when she was 4 months, the dad came. When he came, we decided that we are going to visit my in-laws, his parents. Okay, they live in Nakuru, and that place is extremely cold at times. It can get really cold. So we went with my husband and my child. She was now 4 months, I think 3.5 or 4. Let's just say 4 months. And she was there now. So now here is where something else happened. Listen. So when we were there, that same day, my baby got this crazy cold. Like we only stayed there for 3 days. 2, because the third one is when we traveled back. I couldn't stay there any longer. But they were really good. My in-laws are the best. So, but now, this place that they are staying, they used to stay 3 families in the same compound. Okay? So, where we used to sleep, it's not the same houses. We had a room that was separate from everyone else's. Okay? So now when it was the day reached when we had to travel back, and I packed everything. Everything was okay. I packed everything, you know. But now there's this woman whom now the room we were staying, it belonged to her. But now she had a big house. Like she's the boss there. So she called me as I was going to, I don't know what I was going to pick on to in my mother-in-law's house. She called me and asked, Jen, are you the one? Is this socks yours? The sock, just a one, socks is a pair, but now it was one, so I don't know whether it's a sock or it's socks, but you understand. So it had fallen, allegedly. But for me, I knew I had packed everything inside the bag. Now, what's strange, these socks, they were inside. That I told you the place is extremely cold. So when my child was sleeping, I had put on socks on her feet, and then the tights or stockings on top. It was a black and white spotted tights, it was my favorite and my child's favorite, because it was so comfortable. Because the other ones that I had bought, you don't buy a child clothes that fit. You have to buy her like bigger. Some were smaller and others were a bit big. So this one was very comfortable. I will pick it any day. So I wondered how the socks came from the stocking inside and fell by itself, and then the stockings were left. So I didn't think much of it anyway. I asked myself, why did she call me to come and pick it from the ground, and she's the one near it? Why can she pick it up and call me now and give me or put it in the bag? I didn't think much of it then. But now when we got home, I unpacked, and I was looking for that stocking because I wanted to wash clothes, my baby's clothes. I told my husband, hey, I cannot find my child's stockings. And he was like, we angalia vizuri, you'll find it. Who can take it? And it can't fit any child in the home. And I was like, hey, no. I remembered what had happened, and I told him, and he was like shocked. Hey, That is serious. He told me, Ebu, look for it again. He knew it because I used to put it on her almost every time. As long as it was clean, she would wear it. So my husband told me he would ask the mom. He will tell the mom to go and ask what happened. But then, on the other side, he also thought maybe because we left our goods, our luggages at stage, Nakuru stage, Nakuru town, before we will pick gari ya kukuja na huku, like an express one. We put our luggages somewhere at the stage so that we could go to a hotel and have something to eat. We are the three of us, my husband, myself, and my child. So he thought maybe, and I asked him, now, how can one open a bag and just take stockings, a child's stockings? Really, does it even make sense? If it's a thief, then he or she would have stolen like your shoes, my shoes, or something maybe that would benefit them, But now, just one stocking is what the only thing that was missing, because I had not carried so many clothes, so I knew the clothes that I had carried. Now, the husband asked the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law said she would ask. Later, months went by and weeks went by and I called my mother-in-law. I asked her, did you ask her? She told me she would ask. After a week, I called her. I asked her, Mom, did you ask her? Because it really bothered me, because by this time I know life is spiritual. I've been watching Life is Spiritual by Erica Mukisa and Tim Simon. I recommend that you watch that. It will really open your mind. You will realize that life is not a joke. It's more spiritual than physical. You better know that. So I called my mom-in-law again, and now this time it was like she was getting tired now of the question now of the tithe, because she wouldn't get, like, why would such a woman take the tithe? I don't even think she asked her. So I asked her again and she told me, like, no, she can't take it. So from then, I never asked about it. What I did, now I started praying harder. I used to pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. And then, by this time, she was already 6 months. Like, we stayed for long, for a year, and nothing ever happened to her. So I was okay. I thought things were okay. So that situation ended there. Okay. So now, on December, I went for Christmas in my maternal place. Coming back, that's when now, like, after some months, my baby stopped eating well, Like I'm telling you guys, life is spiritual. Life is spiritual. And not every relative wishes you well. Some are just demons robed in sheep's clothing, So, my child now got ill. By this time, when she was coming to die, when she got sick, for a whole week, I had these vivid dreams every day, that a certain relative that I love the most, that I love so much, was dead. Like, because I remember even on that Thursday, so that my child will die on Friday, I also had a dream that that relative of mine had died. Mind you, my mom as well at home, she's having similar dreams, very vivid. And I remember on Monday, because my baby passed on Friday, she was telling me how she's been dreaming and hearing even the name being mentioned. Okay? And I told her, Mom, I've been dreaming the same. And she told me, now we need to pray for that relative. I can't mention who, because I don't want issues with family. So, we prayed, and I told her, now I had this day, on was it on Thursday? On Wednesday. I had it very vivid. Like, the dream was so clear, and I felt in my heart like this kind of peace, because me, I know when God has God is revealing to me things that must happen, you know. And I felt, and I told my mom, hey, for me today, what I dreamt, like like it's like there's nothing to be done. My mom told me, no, don't say that. We can't afford to lose the relative. And I told her, I am also praying really hard. If you can, I told my mom, if you can, fast. Because for me, I was breastfeeding. There's no way I could fast. And my baby is only breastfeeding. She is not feeding well. So my mom prayed about it. But I told her, it doesn't mean that it's the relative who's going to die. Probably it's someone very dear to us. Yeah, even if you ask my mom, she will tell you. I told her that. Not knowing the things of God are hidden. Because if I knew it's my child who is going to die, I would have told him to take my life instead. No parents want to bury their children. Okay. So that's how my baby died. You see. Now when she died, that's when we realized, oh, kumbe the dreams we've been having. And my mom had also had a dream two times. She had dreamed 2 times of my child dying and also me, because I remember in one of the dreams she told me that we were held captive, the people had already killed my child, and now she was asking where I am. She was also held captive with us, but now she was able to escape. She was asking where Jane is and the child, and she was told even that child is dead, and even your Jane, she's not in a good place, like she's next. This hit me way later, after my baby passed on and we were done with the burial and all that, because I also got somehow suicidal. You know, there was a time I was like, now my baby is gone, you know, I sacrificed not to pursue my dreams, you know, to have her, and now she came, she made our life so perfect, and now she is gone. I didn't see the reason to live anymore. I was also frustrated because I had applied for jobs, then I could not find, you know, and as a graduate, you know how it feels sometimes, you know. So now, after my child was buried, um, the husband, the husband to this woman who I know took my child's stockings. I don't know why she took them or where she took them. And it doesn't matter. God sees everything. The husband came. Mind you, this woman didn't get even close to the burial of my child. She just stayed there. She didn't even, like the woman, she never even cared, you know. But then she told my sister-in-law that even her, that same day, the burial day, that even her, she doesn't have any children and she's still alive. She never died. So this really shocked us after my mother-in-law told my husband, because now my husband was like, so this woman wouldn't want us like to have a child, you know, which came to affect us later. Okay, I will tell you some other time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I really appreciate. Continue watching and let me pray for you. Jehovah, I humbly come before you, God. I glorify your holy name, Elohim. And I thank you, Jehovah Father, for the view of this video, Jehovah Father. I pray that you may forgive us, cleansing us, and open our eyes, Jehovah, oh God, spiritual, Jehovah, oh God, and physical, my Father. Even our spiritual ears, that we may be able to hear from you, my God. I pray that you may be with all of us, Jehovah. Whoever is going through some hard stuff, Jehovah, may you see them through, Jehovah God. Whoever is praying to have you close, Jehovah, may you show your face unto them, Jehovah Father. King of all glory, thank you and I honor you, Jehovah, oh God. I pray that this video be beneficial to many, Jehovah, oh God, and that it may inspire, Jehovah, oh Lord, King of all glory, nations, my Father, King of all glory. We thank you and we honor your holy name. For in Jesus' name we do pray, trust and believe it. Amen. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.